before the mission started, before we had anything together, I've been working at the 911 center for 30 years, and over a period of time, we've had a lot of people that are stranded in the middle of the night, usually, and there was no funding and no shelter for these people. So what would happen is a lot of the police officers and the dispatchers would get together and pool their funds so that we could get these people a place to stay for the night, so they could have shelter until they could get something else going. We had had a situation one night at work where somebody had called and they said that there was a lady sleeping in the parking lot at one of the motels, and she had a blanket laid out in the lot. She had a baby and she had a toddler, and it was really cold. It was in the middle of the night, and from what I understood, she had part of the motel fee, but she didn't have it all, so they wouldn't give her a room. And so we had an officer go out there and talk to her, and so once again, we helped her get a room there. We put the difference in there, and I just thought, this is just ridiculous. So that particular night I was working with another gal and another fella there, and I said, we got to do something. And the three of us are Christians, and we said, let's do something. And so after work the next morning, we went out to his car and we prayed, and we asked the Lord to show us what we could do. We acquired the building. We started as a cold weather shelter, a temporary type thing. Then we went ahead and decided to buy it as the mission, and so since then we've been getting donations and progressing little by little. We're hoping to grow a little more, expand, or at least remodel this place, because the way the rooms are set up, it needs to be changed a little bit here and there in the offices. But we're hoping that long term we can get another building and separate the men and the women, because that's become a little difficult. But we've had a lot of successes. We have a lot of Bible studies going on here, and we've really seen a lot of lives changed. It's been pretty wonderful.
Hi, my name is Manuel Santome, and my friends call me Manny. And when I first came to the mission, I was homeless, and it's no fun being homeless. I've always had a place my whole life, but this time I became homeless due to the fact that I had a drug problem. And there was this, made a phone call. There's this wonderful woman named Linda who took me in here at the mission. It didn't start out at first very easy. Learned to let go. Once I learned to let go, things started happening for me. Of course, all glory be to God, because everything that's happened to me is because of God and my belief in Jesus. There's nothing. I don't know what to say. There's nothing better.
My name is Shannon. I've lived in McMinnville my whole life. I'm a single mother of 3 kids. My life before I came to the mission was really dark. I was addicted to meth. I lost my place to live. Everything was kind of going downhill. I had no place to go. So I called the Yamhill County Gospel Rescue Mission and talked to the house manager. She wanted me to come in and do an intake, so I came in and did an intake, and at that point, I just really needed to surrender and just give up everything and live a better life, and that's what they were helping me do, to help me achieve. I was really nervous coming here. I didn't know what to expect. I've never had to live at a shelter, a homeless shelter, any time in my life, and so I was really nervous. Didn't know what was going to be expected of me, where I was going to be sleeping, what were going to happen with the kids, and I was greeted here, and they made it so warm and comfortable. Like, I never have felt such loving people around me.
My faith in God has grown tremendously. As far as what I believe in and what I think of, just believing a power greater than yourself being out there, and not only believing it, but knowing it in your heart. believing in Jesus and what He did and His works. At first, like so when I first got here, I had a belief in God, but now it's more than a belief. Now it's a knowing of His existence and His love for us all. It's brought me from the depths of the worst that could ever happen to me to something greater. Right now, I have my own place. I finally got my housing, and I have my own place. I have my son living with me. I've been clean and sober for 2 years now, and it's wonderful.
We were able to get shoes and clothes for the kids. They were provided through the donations and snacks and food for the kids. My kids loved it here. They still talk about it to this day. I want to go back to the mission. They always tell me that. But we have our own place now. We have our own apartment, and everything's. I've been clean for 19 months now, and my life has changed dramatically in these last 19 months that we've been here in McMinnville, back in McMinnville, and people around this community are really thoughtful and giving. That was my experience here, is that they really do care. It was awesome to see that people actually do care about people that are homeless and need places to live and have gone through things in their lives and are asking for a second chance. And I would never be where I'm at today without having come here, is the honest truth, because I had no place to go. I had no place to start, and this was my starting point. It was right here, and I'll never forget that experience. Like, it was the best thing that has happened for our family. I don't know where we would have been, actually, if I didn't come here. So I'm really grateful that we got the opportunity to be here at the mission.
And I got here, I didn't have a place to stay, and didn't know nobody, and I just came here and then gave me a bed, an e-bed for that night. The next night they give me another one, and after 3 days they let me stay here. And I'm waiting on my house. Hopefully I get it this week. And everything's been, everybody's been so good. I'm so blessed to be here. It's a good place, and I'm so blessed. I'm happy. Thank you for everything.
Our family moved up here from Los Angeles about almost 5 years ago now. And last year, things just went bad with the family. So I ended up getting locked up. And when I was released, I had nowhere to go. I was a stay-at-home dad, so I really didn't know anybody in Oregon. And the mission was the one place that took me in. So I spent quite a few months here and was able to get on my feet. I got into school, and I'm doing welding, and I'm looking for a job right now, but I was able to move into the Oxford house, and the mission really saved me and got me back on my feet when I had nothing left at all.
We basically shelter here 24 hours a day. We have some emergency stays, which is maybe 1 or 2 nights because of a short-term emergency. We have longer-term stays for the people that are really close to being on their own, but they need a little extra time. So we'll work something out with them. We have they get 3 meals a day. They can do their laundry here. They have showers here. Everything that they need. They have phone. We have Bible studies that we have for them. But basically we do what we call a success plan with them. And so when they come in, we try to work with them and see, okay, what do you have? What can help you get on your feet and get going? Because we're limited here. The city has us on a conditional use permit, which makes sense because we're in a residential zone. So we're restricted to how many people we can have staying here. So we'll work with them and try to get them on their feet as fast as we can, because we have a waiting list. There's usually a lot of people on our list trying to get in because they have no place to stay, because we're the only emergency shelter really in Yamhill County. So we'll work with them. We can find resources for them that they may need to get through whatever it is that where they're having problems. So as we do that, we walk them through the process. We sit down with them weekly and we ask, if they've been doing the things that we've asked them to do to move forward. And then we decide based on case management if they're even trying or if they're needing some more assistance in certain areas, and then we get them that if they need that. The whole idea is we wanted to teach them how to fish. We don't want to just give them the fish. We want them to learn how to do it on their own and become self-sufficient. So that's pretty much what we do here.